Hello and welcome to Matchpoint Paradox. We are here at the end of the game between Gujarat Titans and Sunrisers Hyderabad. And it was a comfortable win at the end for Gujarat, who moved to second in the table, level on points with Mumbai with this. I think a score of 220 itself is a formidable one. And Sunrisers eventually fell well short of it. But the main three players, like the other games in the season that Gujarat have played, has been that top three: Sai Sudarshan, Shubman Gill, Josh Butler, all three contributing again today. This time they actually played quicker than what we usually see Sudarshan and Gill partnerships be. How important are those three players for Gujarat?
Extremely important, and it's surprising, every team has played 10 games and everybody knows the modus operandi that GT employs, and yet nobody is able to crack this top order combination that Gujarat Titans have. And as you mentioned, they scored at a quicker pace against Sunrisers today. 82 runs of the power play, which is the highest GT has managed in the first 6 overs with fielding restrictions, and they combined for 188 out of the 224 runs they scored. Shubman Gill scored some 78 runs. Josh Butler followed with 64. Sai Sudarshan sadly missed out on a 50, but he went to the top of the orange cap standings. And interestingly, through this season, at least one of these three batters has scored a half century, and that just shows that the consistency with which they've delivered. And I mean, credit to them as well, because at one point in time it becomes a psychological factor. It gets pressure onto you that you have to deliver. As I mentioned, 70% runs between these three batters. That is tremendous responsibility on you. And Shubman Gill, well, after the match today, said that we've never really had this discussion about one of the three of us sticking around till the end. But somehow GT is continuing with this way, and it's working for them. But talking about the top order, I still feel they ended up short. 224 is obviously a mammoth total, but they were still well short than what they should have gotten.
Correct. I think they were at 140 odd in the 12 over mark, and Butler had just started going from there with his ability to take down both spin and pace alike. So that's such a big factor for GT. But after that, I feel like when Shubman fell, obviously it was a run out, really broke what is going to be a big blossoming stand. They could have sent someone like a Shah Rukh Khan or Rahul Tewatia. Gujarat have always underutilized their middle order batters this season. I think it has been actually a trend for them throughout their stint in the IPL 3-4 years, where the middle order really don't contribute a lot of runs because the top order is doing so well. But today, specifically case in point today, they had enough runs on the board, they had enough batting depth to cover those 5-6 overs. Washington could have come 6 or 7 and still would have done a job for them. Maybe they were around 15-20 runs short, or maybe they are just such good judges of the Ahmedabad pitch, which is turning out to be a fortress for that team, that they felt like they had enough and they didn't have to go hammer and tongs in the death. So Unadkat's 3 wickets in the death eventually restricted them. Rashid Tewatia all falling, looking to trying to up the ante at the end, but 224 formidable enough. Sunrisers, surprisingly today they had a good start in the power play, something they have been lacking throughout this season. Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma managed to find the boundaries at regular intervals in the power play, and Abhishek carried on despite its wicket, but still wasn't enough for Sunrisers.
Yeah, I mean, in the first over there was I think it was a second ball when Abhishek Sharma stepped out and lofted him over covers for a 6, and at that point in time it looked as if he's in mood to replicate his innings against Punjab Kings, where he scored 141 runs, but not to be, as you mentioned, he lacked support, and again, I mean, what is happening with the SRH batting order still remains a puzzle. All of a sudden, from flying high in the 24 season, and now they can't really string together partnerships. Ishan Kishan also struggled at one down. Maybe it's time to explore a few new options there. Like, not explore new options, but at least give chance to a couple of youngsters in the remaining games of this season. And yeah, he scored 13 of 17, and then they needed momentum at that point in time after Travis had got out, and that eventually led to more pressure on Abhishek Sharma, and both those wickets fell, and then it was up to Heinrich Klaasen. But 100 runs, 98 runs of the last 6 overs was always going to be a Herculean task, and they eventually caved into the pressure. Obviously, Nitish Kumar Reddy with some free-flowing batting towards the end, but that could only get him that Super Striker award and not the 2 points.
Correct. Prasidh Krishna, the person that stood out from the bowling attack the GT had today, 4 overs, 2 for 18 on a pitch where the batting team scored 224 is just insane returns. I think he's been in his element this season. He's coming back from a long injury he didn't play the first 2 games as well. Coming back and then managing, he's now top of the purple cap standings with 19 wickets. And then I felt the GT bowlers, all the 4 pace bowlers that they had, kind of knew how to bowl in that pitch. Siraj had good returns today. Koji came and picked up that wicket of Ishan Kishan. So all in all, collectively as well, a good pace bowling performance. Rashid still didn't get belted around in his 3 overs. I think that is one thing that they'll.
But I think he made up for it with that catch of Travis that he took in the deep.
Yes, so still small chinks in the armor for GT. They'll be hoping that they can stitch up 2-3 wins and secure that top 2 spot that gives them a second shot at the final. Next up, we have CSK taking on RCB at the Chinnaswamy. CSK obviously were the first team to be eliminated, but they have the chance to spoil the party for a few other teams for the remainder of the IPL. So stay tuned to Sportstar. Thank you for tuning in.